Hoy quiero saborear mi dolor.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Super Jesus Jackson channel. Thanks for stopping by. So, this video, we're talking Jose Jose. He is a Mexican singer, very, very well known in Latin America, really, not just in Mexico. If you are Mexican, if you are Hispanic, really, you know who this guy is, at least if you grew up, speaking Spanish, really with the culture. I did. I speak Spanish fluently. I'm Mexican. My family's Mexican. And I've heard a lot of Jose Jose, as I did with I've also listened to other artists like Juan Gabriel and Luis Miguel and that sort of thing, right? But Jose Jose is someone that really stuck with me. A lot of it is because when I was young, I did a lot of performing around my hometown. And I sang a lot. I sang a lot at these local events and stuff like that. And a lot of the music that I did, it was mostly in Spanish, or it was Spanish in sort of my second half of my little mini local singing career. But I started off singing doo-wop actually, which was interesting, in English, of course. But then I did some Spanish, and Jose Jose was a big hit. A lot of people loved me singing Jose Jose. His signature song is El Triste, which translates to the sad one, essentially. And it's honestly a phenomenal song. It's a song I used to sing, and it was always, is it a hard song to sing? Yeah, somewhat, mainly because you have to have a lot of breath support for this song, have to have a lot of stamina. So in that department, it's a difficult song to sing. But when it comes to, just the emotion and the power and just you have to really feel the song, okay, in order to do it. Okay, you don't just have to have the stamina or the power or whatever. You really have to connect with the song. And I know this sounds kind of cringe, but it's true. I remember singing this song. This song has a very special place in my heart. Jose Jose was he was like the Frank Sinatra of Mexico. Think of it like that, or of Latin America, really. And this guy mostly sang Latin ballads. He wasn't like a rock artist or anything like that. It was I guess sort of pop. You could say pop ballads. And he was mostly famous around the 1970s to the early 80s, I believe, around there. But this is sort of an interesting thing to do in my channel. I usually don't do Spanish-speaking music or react to them. But this one's special. I have to do this one. I think another Spanish-speaking song I've done is maybe Bad Bunny, I think, which is interesting, when you think of the dichotomy of Jose Jose and Bad Bunny. So that's interesting. But yeah, here we go. Reacting to El Triste, Jose Jose, the original recording, not the performance that a lot of people seem to be reacting to. The actual OG, the recording. Prepare to just be absolutely amazed, or if you already know the song, I don't know. I hope you have fun with this video.
Qué triste fue decirnos adiós cuando nos adorábamos más. Hasta la golondrina emigró, presagiando el final. Qué triste, luce todos los mares de las playas se van, se tiñen los colores de gris. Hoy todo es soledad. No sé si vuelva a verte después. No sé qué de mi vida será sin el lucero azul de tu ser que no me alumbra ya. Hoy quiero saborear mi dolor. piedad. La historia de este amor se escribió para la eternidad.
Oh my God. Do you understand? Do you understand what's happening here? Do you understand it? I'm sure you do. You can hear it. Music is universal. You don't have to understand it, language-wise. As you can hear, the instrumentation is absolutely beautiful. It's a live band, live orchestra action, here. So it's completely epic. And this guy's voice, right? You can hear it's very operatic. It is incredibly powerful. His ability of his vibrato is insane. Like the level of vibration that his vocals can produce. It's very quick. It's very efficient. It's like a knife, dude. It just goes like it just hits, man. It is so good. And he can sustain notes for a very, very long time. He'll be going through phrases and stuff like that with one solid breath. I mean, it's pretty insane. Some of my favorite parts of this song, the entirety of the song is my favorite, but there is, it's a combination of knowing what the words are, and what he's saying along with the instrumentation. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Yes. The strings, na, 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 na. It's so beautiful. And it contrasts, just the depression that these lyrics are. So right here, he's saying how sad, everything is, without you. That's essentially sort of what he's saying. The water from the seas leave, they disappear. And I love that in this part right here, the lyrics are so depressing, and there's this beauty to it with the strings and stuff like that. And there's kind of a groove to the song, but the bass is very pronounced. The bass is kind of on the right speaker. And I love how in this part it goes, it just starts going lower and lower and lower. Kind of it's kind of like it's getting sad. The bass is getting sad. It's legitimately going down in notes, and it goes in line with how, the depressing nature of this song. Here we go. And as it's going lower and lower and lower, he continues with the depressing lyrics here. The colors become gray, and today everything is loneliness, like that's what these lyrics are. And the bass just goes to its absolute lowest, which is accurate, and then everything else is rising, but the bass is going lower. It's such a cool contradiction. The drums too. Jose Jose's voice is just like gold. He, especially right here, he has these things that he does that just make him sound very badass, honestly. Let's see. There's I think it's in that Toser right here. The Toser. He has this like almost kind of crack in his voice that gives it more of a punch. Lucero azul de tu ser. And he's very famous for doing that. He has this dynamic to his voice that keeps you engaged. And then he has that cracks, these occasional cracks in his voice, and intentional ones that really just And then he has that raw power. Yeah. The strings and the bass are so amazing. They carry the song along with him just perfectly. This part right here is one of my favorites too. Right here, he's saying, today, I want to savor my pain. You know, I don't ask for your compassion or pity. It's such a, you know, the song in general is, you know, he had his partner, they left, they broke up, whatever happened. And now he's just he's a wreck, you know, he's absolutely a wreck, and he's the sad one, you know, and, but this part right here, especially the melody too, it's so pretty, dude. And especially with how he says it. Hoy quiero saborear mi dolor.
Saborear, hoy quiero saborear mi dolor.
His vibrato, I'm telling you, right?
Saborear mi dolor. Pido compasión y piedad.
Yes. And then he brings it down. He has this dynamic, you know, he goes really quiet right here.
Este amor se escribió para la eternidad.
Has a little bit of a crack there in his voice.
Para la eternidad. Qué triste. Todos dicen que soy, que siempre estoy hablando de ti. No saben que pensando en tu amor.
Yes, the way it picks up.
En tu amor he podido ayudarme a vivir. He podido ayudarme a vivir.
Ooh. Those are some high notes, man, that he's just hitting.
Hoy quiero saborear mi dolor. No pido compasión ni piedad. La historia de este amor se escribió para la eternidad. Qué triste. Todos dicen que soy, que siempre estoy hablando de ti.
It's such a pretty melody there. How sad everybody says that I am, that I'm always speaking of you. I'm always talking about you.
Qué triste. Todos dicen que soy.
I love that. Qué triste. Todos dicen que soy, que siempre estoy hablando de ti.
Que siempre estoy hablando de
it's pain, man. You can really feel it.
No saben que pensando en tu amor, he podido ayudarme
the bass.
a vivir. He podido ayudarme a vivir.
Hear that bass again one more time. It's so good.
He podido ayudarme a vivir.
It's so good.
He podido ayudarme a vivir. He podido ayudarme a vivir.
Wow. God damn it. The ending for the song is so good. Hear the chords, the strings, the way they sort of change. It gets really weird towards the very, very end. And then it resolves so nicely. I don't even know what notes those are, but they work, man. They're so bizarre. And that final chord there just brings it home. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And you know what? There's probably like a way to there probably is a way to do that end section without being so weird in the strings. But whoever was the director of this, whoever was the arranger of this, the composer, whatever, they were like, fuck it, man. Let's make it weird. Let's make it good. And it was good. The thing about this song is, like I mentioned, you know, you have to feel it. You know, you could hear it in this man's voice. You know, the pain is there. The suffering is there, you know. And in this song, what's really, I think, fascinating about it is that, yes, it is very depressing and it has beautiful, you know, just incredibly poetic lyrics, you know, like the water and the seas leave, you know, and the colors turn gray, you know, and today everything is loneliness, you know, and how sad people say that I am because I'm always talking about you, you know, just, it's so sad. I mean, imagine like, it reminds me of that one Bruno Mars song. What is it? When I Was Your Man or whatever, you know, like sort of kind of like that, you know, like, where it's just like sulking in your own like depression of like, you know, of lost love, you know, and it's just like, it's really, you know, it's really powerful because we can all relate to that, you know, to a certain extent, right? But the really interesting aspect of this song is that lyrically, there is sort of some hope to the song. Towards the very end, you know, it sounds very hopeful as well. It combines this depression. Well, the strings sound kind of depressing, and then they become really hopeful with that last chord there. But that dichotomy is what makes the song really interesting. But yeah, on the surface, it may seem like a very sad song. However, there's a lyric here. Yeah, right here. So he says, you know, how sad people say that I am. I'm always talking about you. And then you get to the next part. And he says, but they don't know that thinking about your love, thinking of your love has helped me live. And it's that right there, you know, and even the way that he sings it, it sounds very hopeful, you know? It's very like, it's very affirming. It's a very firm, like, you know, kind of just like, you know, assertive, you know, kind of melody line here compared to this.
Todos dicen que siempre estoy hablando de ti.
It sounds like he's in pain. It sounds like he's suffering here. You know, he's sort of saying, woe is me.
No saben,
and then
que pensando en tu
they don't know that thinking about your love.
amor, en tu amor, he podido ayudarme a vivir.
And it sounds very, you know, it has helped me live, you know, like.
He podido ayudarme a vivir. He podido ayudarme a vivir.
Beautiful. Right there, you know, like. And I think that's what makes this song so amazing, right? Is because it could have just gone very generic and it could have been sad, you know, woe is me, whatever. But there is this incredibly hopeful aspect of the song where it's like, yeah, I'm in pain and I'm suffering and I miss you, but like, and everybody thinks that I'm just really depressed and sad. But truth is, you know, thinking about your love and what it meant to me has allowed me to, you know, continue living, which is like just, it's crazy, you know, because there's many lyrics in this song where you're like, dude, like, what's going on over here? You know, like, do you even want to continue living? You know, but there's this beautiful contradiction. And I love that because in the real world, you know, you have like, this is the best way to sort of get out of, you know, depression and out of, you know, that depression that can come from unrequited love or lost love, you know, is the idea that, well, think about the positive aspect, you know, even though it can be very hard to think of positives, you know, when you're all sad and when you've lost someone, you know, but think about the positive things that person has given you. You know, what type of person that person, you know, force you to be, you know. Think of all the positive things you can extract out of a relationship that didn't end up working out, you know. I could tell you right now, there's, you know, I've had several relationships that didn't work out, but I very much have used all those things, you know, positive and negative. I've learned from those relationships, you know, and they've allowed me to continue and want for something better, you know, and it's made me appreciate what I have now, you know, like, and I think there's always a lesson to learn, right? And so I think this song is incredibly hopeful in its depression, and it's just very real because that's very human, you know, to be depressed, to sulk in it. And I love how he even says, you know, I want to savor my pain, you know, I really want to go with it, you know, and, you know, I mean, for anyone that's ever experienced something like this, you know what that feels like. You are going through that pain and there's a part of you that just loves it. You know, it's very similar to the Nirvana song, Frances Farmer Will Have Her Revenge. I miss the comfort in being sad. That's the lyric right there. I miss the comfort in being sad. And it's so true because sadness is so comfortable, you know. I mean, think of even people who, you know, drink, you know, when they're sad. Like, it could be a very comforting thing to do, you know, is to sulk in your sadness. You know, it's very cozy in a way, you know. And so I think the song definitely shows that, you know. It's saying, I want to you know, just, you know, stir in my sadness. I want to suffocate in it almost, you know. But within that suffocating and within that sulking and all of that, you can come out a better person. And it's, you know, to go even further with the metaphors, you know, think of Dante's Inferno, where you know, you have to go all the way into hell to come out, you know, transformed, to come out enlightened, you know, to go to heaven, you know. In order to live, you must die, you know. Think of Jesus, right? You know, his resurrection and stuff like that. So all this stuff is just, you know, I think human beings love and they're attracted to stories of redemption when there's tragedy. You know, that's why those stories always resonate to us so much. That's why revenge stories are incredibly, you know, satisfying, you know, or just redemption stories, you know, is because, or tragedies even are so, you know, appealing to us, is because we love that depressing, you know, we love that depression, right? But we love even more the, you know, coming out of it, you know, what that looks like, the transformation, right? And so, this song just touches all of those things, and I love it so much for that, and the music is beautiful, and the singing is impeccable, and it's a classic. It's probably, is it my favorite Spanish song? Probably it's up there, maybe top 3, you know, I'm not sure, but it is definitely up there, and I hope you all see what I see in this song, even though you may not speak the language, but I love it, and it hits. Don't be sad that it's gone. Be happy that it happened. There it is. Well, there we have it, everyone. That was my thoughts and my reaction to El Triste by José José. Let me know in the comment section below what you have to say about this song. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you like the song? Do you hate the song? Whatever it is, let's have a good discussion down below. Give this video a like if you like, dislike it if you didn't. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this content. If it's your birthday, happy birthday to you, you beautiful creature. But I think that's it for me. You all take care, stay safe, and until next time, I love you.